Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Y'all, we are back with the final review for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8 Reunion Part 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend, hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. This is part 3 of this treacherous reunion. This reunion has shined a light on these ladies being on this platform, abusing the fact that they have this platform and they are getting paid to act a fool. Okay? Before we get into the mess. Let's just get right on into it. So when we left off, G was about to reveal something. So he reveals that he's been diagnosed with bipolar 1. So Mia starts to get emotional. Andy finds out that he was diagnosed like 2 or 3 years ago. He has manic episodes and it has gotten worse over the years. So Andy is asking about the medication he's using and he's telling us how he copes with the episodes. He realizes when they're coming. So him reaching out to the other men, that was one of those episodes. It was a manic episode. And that explains him disclosing their son's paternity, because when he did that, I was just like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? But now I understand it. Andy is asking if he believes that Mia was having an affair. He said during the marriage, yes, but not during the marriage. I don't know. So it didn't make no sense to me. He said she was having an affair, but she wasn't having an affair. I am confusion. He believes that if he got his episodes under control, that Mia would still be with him. Now, I don't know if I believe that. So he said that he checked himself into a hospital and every day Mia was there for him. Now, I do commend her for being there for G and not just abandoning him, especially when he was going through something. Moving forward. So then Giselle's like, well, I'm really worried about Gordon, especially with you leaving him, Mia. So she's like, well, I'm going to forever be there to take care of him. I'm never going to leave his side. Andy is asking about his relationship with Ink. He said that they are cordial. He kept saying cordial. I said, now what is it now? Not cordial. Mia and her brother husbands. Now, I have to say this, all jokes aside, it was very brave of G to disclose what he's been experiencing. Him talking about his mental illness will definitely help someone else feel seen and heard, because there's a stigma to it. You don't want to admit it, especially in the Black community. Oh, you crazy. People are quick to try to label you. So the fact that he was brave enough to be transparent and vulnerable in that moment, that really took a lot. So I commend you, G, for actually disclosing what's going on with you. So we finally get to hear from Nika. It's her turn. We see her time on the show. Andy is asking where she is with having a baby. She said the IUI didn't take, so now she's on the IVF journey. So now we're sitting here fighting about north, south, east, or west Potomac. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you stay in the north. I don't care if you stay in the south. I don't care if you stay in the west. I don't care where you stay. Does it say Potomac? Okay, then you're a Real Housewives of Potomac. Moving forward. So then we find out Nneka grew up in Wisconsin. And I was like, girl, we truly don't know anything about you. Like, we could have learned so much more had you come in a different way. So after that, Andy quickly transitioned. But then he tried to give a disclaimer about what he's about to talk about being culturally sensitive. Okay, so then why are you proceeding with the BS? This part could have been skipped. Now, that's just me. I feel like if you know that it's culturally sensitive and you have to give this entire disclaimer and preface it by saying you understand that this is a sensitive subject, then why broach the sensitive subject? I am so confused. So Andy started saying that production had no idea about the shrine call prior to filming and casting Nneka. They really wanted her to come through with Wendy because they thought that they knew each other. Andy tells Wendy that the producers told him that she wasn't happy. She wasn't having it. Wendy was like, well, no, it's not that I wasn't happy. It's just that I don't know her. And they were saying that I knew her, but I don't know her. Well, girl, the secrets are already out. I think Tammy Roman is the one that told us, look, we know how people are introduced on these shows. You don't have to know them to introduce them. So you saying I don't know her and she's saying I know her, it doesn't matter. Okay, just hitch up with somebody and come on in. So Nneka is saying that she did meet her privately. They were at some VIP concert or something. And to me, this whole situation is giving Nene and Phaedra. Y'all remember, I don't know you. Well, You are older than my oldest brother, so I'm 42. Okay. Baby, it was giving Nene and Creonta, okay? Child, I don't know her. It's giving Mariah Carey, honey. I don't know this woman. Moving forward. So Aneka says she met her and not that she knew her. She's like, girl, I'm not saying I knew you. I'm just saying that I had met you before. So now Aneka's mad. Wendy is wondering, why the hostility? Like, why you got so much beef? Like, what's the problem? She's activated now. She finally gets to speak. She's been quiet as a church mouse all reunion. So now she wants to give Wendy all the smoke. So then Andy said, well, for us, if y'all have met once or twice, that means y'all know each other. Okay, that's good enough to come on the show with somebody. Y'all know each other, or you know of each other. Andy wanted to know if Aneka wanted to use Wendy to get on the show. Now, I think that's what Wendy feels. That's why she's saying, oh, well, I don't know her. Like, why is she telling y'all she know me? She don't know me. So I totally understand why Wendy would say that to her. And the way that Andy is explaining it, it's like, no, we don't know each other. Is this lady name dropping me? And I think that's where the discrepancy comes in. Okay. And so Andy wanted to know if she was using Wendy to get on the show. She said originally Married to Medicine had reached out to her and they wanted them to be on their show. Then the lady was like, oh no, Wendy is there. And since you're both Nigerian and you're in the DMV, maybe you should meet her. And I feel like, first of all, I think you should have gone to Married to Medicine and we could have left Phaedra off, but that's just my personal opinion. I think that you all would have probably been better suited for Married to Medicine. Also, I feel like it's really unfortunate because it could have been such a great dynamic, but things were skewed and a lot of mess was started. I think that this could have really been great, but it just didn't get produced how it should have. So I blame production partly, but I damn sure blame Ashley. Now let's get into it. So Andy is asking about Osu. And what does it mean to be Osu? So Wendy said, okay. She turns to Ashley. She said, I'm going to let Ashley answer since you're the one that brought it to this platform. Crickets. I know that's right, Wendy, honey. Hold Ashley's bad wig to the fire. Trying to be messy and talking about things that you don't know anything about. Let's hear it, Ashley. You can't TikTok your way out of this one. Let's hear it. So she's sitting there looking crazy and Neka tried to answer. Wendy said, no, Ashley, you know so much about it. Let's hear it. So then Ashley says, well, I know it's something culturally sensitive, but I never said that I knew what it was. Well, then why did you bring it up? You need to stop being messy and using things that you're not well versed in. Stop doing that. This is their culture, not some gossip that you heard on the street. So Andy is asking, well, what was your intention? Why did you bring it up? To be messy and conniving and to produce a moment, and you used Aneka to deflect from that lack of a storyline that you have, because nobody is buying for 1 second that you're ever divorcing Mr. Smithers, and you were silly enough, Aneka, to buy it. So Aneka says, nobody here is confident enough to even really speak on it, not even me. So I'm not going to even say anything about it. So then Giselle says, well, is it bad? So both parties agreed that it's taboo and they don't speak about it. Yes, so let's move on. Moving forward. So Andy is asking Wendy what she needs from Aneka so they can move forward. She said, well, I just want her to take some accountability and then we can move on. We can coexist. And Aneka says, well, I feel like she's the one that can't take accountability. She never had any smoke for Ashley, but then she tried to ice me out with this group all season. Baby, Wendy on ice herself. How she gonna ice you out when she on ice herself? Also, I feel like Ashley was able to skate by per usual because of the shrine thing and you calling her mama a witch, which you also know is a big deal. Both y'all wrong. Both you and Ashley. But that's just me. Okay, that might just be me. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about it. Please be respectful down in the comments, honey. But I just feel like you knew what you were saying when you said it. So why do you think she forgot about Ashley? Because she was too focused on you because you just wouldn't let up. So then Mia's like, well, can you guys ever be friends? Wendy said, as I said, we can coexist. So that's a no. So then we move on to Kiarna. She's now on stage. She said the people need to call her Kay, honey, because we cannot pronounce the name correctly. And I'm really liking Kiarna. So Andy is asking how she liked her season. And she said, I really had fun getting to know everybody. I had a good time. It was fun until it wasn't. So Andy was like, well, I know you're close with Wendy. Her and Wendy have been friends for like 5 years. He's asking who else she got close to. And everybody, really. She says she loved everybody. But did y'all notice that it took her a minute to say Giselle's name? Now, I don't know if that was on purpose, But I was like, not you naming everybody but the kitchen sink. And then you said, oh, and Giselle. I love all the ladies. And you know she don't really too much care for Nneka. Y'all remember when they got into it? So Andy reads a question about Wendy leaving Kiana for dead on the cash trip and her saying that she's not sharing a room with her. Why would she say that? So Wendy was like, well, everybody had their own room, so why would I want to share with her? That's all I was saying. While she's saying that, here go the peanut gallery over there on the other on the other couch. Giselle and Robin. They got to whispering. Here go Giselle. Well, if that didn't even happen, how would she know? We didn't know that we were getting our own room. And I think Robin was about to say, well, at that point we knew. And then Nneka actually did say, well, at that point we knew. But you know, she over there whispering, trying to disparage Wendy. It's her life's work. It wouldn't be a show without it. Robin had already stated the number of rooms, Gizzard. It's common sense. If there are 7 ladies, if Billy has 7 apples. Oh, child. I'm not finna let y'all worry me. If Johnny has 4 apples, Giselle, and there are 4 rooms, do you have to share a room? Gosh, dog. Just don't make no sense. So Kiana said that she was upset when she heard Wendy say that, but she was appreciative of Giselle checking on her when she wasn't feeling well. Candace said, well, it was strategic. She's being strategic. Okay, shout out to Nene. She felt like she was being strategic, and I feel like it was very calculated. And I remember saying that on my review, and she ain't fooling me. And I don't care how the people try to spin it. And if you're a Gizzard fan, I'm sorry for you. But I feel like it was calculated. And like Candace said, she wanted to make sure that she made Wendy and Candace look like bad friends. That's how I felt. But y'all should have checked on her. Okay, 2 things can be true. It's calculated, and y'all should have checked on that lady. You brought her, you take care of her. Giselle, of course, says that she knew that Kay was sick and she just wanted to check on her. It's ridiculous to think that she was trying to make them feel away. Like, get over yourselves. Well, honey, it's not that far-fetched. Moving forward. So then we see Wendy's time on the show. We know that Wendy's a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. Honey, Wendy got it all going on. So we find out that her candle line is still going strong for the naysayers. Giselle, what's going on with Every Hue? Oh, okay, nothing. Okay. And we find out that this may be her last year as a teacher. She doesn't want to miss out on things when it comes to her kids, and she's missed out on a lot. So a viewer brings up Wendy going low, just as low as the other women, and saying that Mia was slow and that Nneka was a crackhead. So she apologized for saying that Nneka was a crackhead. She, just blurted it out in the heat of the moment. Yeah, because that was so misplaced and it made absolutely no sense. We don't know anything about this lady. She's never appeared to have any type of drug problem. So you just yelling out, oh, are you still doing crack? It didn't make any sense. It was given that season when you were into it with Mia and you said, tick tock, Mia, I got time today. Sometimes it don't land. Sometimes it don't land, y'all. But she apologized for calling her a crackhead. So then Mia says out the side of her mouth, well, I mean, you also called me a liar. Does anybody have a mirror? Because we need to hold it up to Mia. Mia, you are a liar, honey. You are. So then Candace said, well, I call her Mia be lying. She said, and Candace be crying. And again, 2 things can be true. Candace cry and Mia lie. Moving forward. So now it's time for Ashley's nothingness this season. When we see Ashley's time on the show, we see the little snippet of what went down, but what didn't go down. Now on to the brawl in the bar. Ashley brings up this lie of a divorce, aka open marriage, and she ain't fooling me, allegedly. I'm not buying nothing Ashley is selling, including that damn G&A. So if you want me to believe that Ashley is getting a divorce from Michael the Darby, then you are out of your rabbit mind, because I don't believe it. So then she brings up the specifics of this lie and says that she's seeing someone, but he doesn't want to get married, so they're better off as friends because she wants to get married again. Girl, you got to get divorced first. Like, what are you talking about? Andy then says, well, people are speculating that this is not real. Here go Robin. What's the holdup? Ashley said, well, it was getting contentious. That's what happened. Robin said, so it was just easier to just coexist? Well, Robin, you would know. You and Juan were going to split the rent till the kids got 18, so please stop. You don't need to be asking no questions, because it's always something that could be said about you, Rob. So Ashley then says that it was good, they were coexisting, and then she realized that she was on a toxic cycle where they'll be great and then it's some BS. She said that Michael's a narcissist, so she's breaking free, and she filed a complaint to really initiate her divorce. So it was a storyline lie, so Michael could cheat in peace. Got it. Moving forward. So then Ineka was like, well, is Michael okay with the way that things are? And she said that he wasn't pushing it. Of course he's not pushing it, honey. It's cheaper to keep her. They wrote a whole song about it. So then Andy is asking if Michael is dating. Ashley said that he took a lady on a vacation for Valentine's Day, so he definitely has a boo. Oh, girl, he was doing that the whole time. Sure, anyway. Michael been taking women on vacation for as long as y'all done been together. We seen all them pictures of him in them hotel rooms, and that wasn't down the street. So Andy asked how much money she's asking for if she ever gets divorced. She says she's asking for a sizable amount because she wants to secure her kid's future. She said, I know GNA is going to be great, but I just want to make sure that my children are always protected. Girl, GNA will stay on that Shopify website. That's number one. You had 8 seasons to parlay this platform into something. Okay? Like, you could have given them a nest egg already. It's been 8 seasons. And my thing is, the children are going to be taken care of. I don't foresee Michael skipping out on child support. So I think that he's going to take care of his kids. You want to make sure that he takes care of you, and you ain't fooling me. So then Ineka was like, well, I mean, he would still help you out if you needed it, right? She's like, well, the jury's still out on that. In other words, no, that's why we ain't divorced yet. Moving forward. So then Andy reads a comment stating that she's staying with Michael for his money. Well, duh. She said, well, no, when I met him, I wanted to be a news anchor. I had hopes and dreams, and, Michael wanted to travel. So I just said, okay, cool. And I kind of became dependent on him. She did say that she still loves him. She's like, I love that man. I massage his feet every night. Yuck. Can you imagine how Michael's feet look? If them foots, and yes, I said foots, if them damn foots got anywhere near me, baby, Andy said, huh? She's like, no. Then she gonna try to clean it up. I said massaged with the D. I watched that back 3 times. Ashley, you said I massage his feet every night. I don't know if the D is silent. I don't know what's going on. But you definitely said massage. So then Andy asked about GNA, the throwaway clothing line that they have going on. Ashley said that her and Giselle work well together. They're in sync. They're always in the gym. They care about their bodies. So then he's asking the ladies, like, what do you guys think about GNA? Like, is it giving Lululemon? What is it giving? Kay said, no, ma'am. Baby, not no ma'am. And Neka said it was kind of like, athletic streetwear. She's trying to be nice. It was like streetwear and whatnot. Andy gonna say, like she by Sheree? Baby, the way in which Sheree should be appalled, I don't give a dang on if it did take Sheree 17 years and 15 seasons to put that clothing line together that she stole from Shein. I would send Andrew a cease and desist. Don't mention me with no GNA. I'm trying to take it seriously, y'all. I really am. I try every time. Oh, I try so hard, y'all. It is no way me as Sheree, the OG of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, one of the only ones left. Honey, I don't know how she keep being able to come back, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. We will discuss that when Atlanta hits the scene. But do not ask these ladies about anything in comparison to She by Sheree. Absolutely not. So Karen said, well, he gave booty call looking for a man down the street going to pick up some groceries. Here go Giselle. I'm not mad at that. That says a lot. It really does say a lot. So then we find out about the brawl because, that's what we're ready to talk about. Kay said that what had happened was she was trying to de-escalate the situation, and Deb came with the intent to have a moment. Now, she did say that Wendy was trying to de-escalate it first, but Deborah was in her space. Kay said, I felt like she was being direct and she was being aggressive. So Andy brings up that it was caught on camera and it was sold to TMZ. He said that she could be seen throwing punches and he wants to know what that's about. Why did you throw the punches? She said, well, I was defending myself really because I got hit in the head, my face cut open with glass. I was assaulted. So instead of Andy really delving into the apologies of it all and asking Ashley some follow-up questions, he proceeds to move over to Candace. He asked if Candace had been calling her names that night. He said, did you call her names and she confront you, or was it out of nowhere? She said her coming up to me was out of nowhere. We're celebrating, we're dancing it, zipping it and zooing it. And here she come over here talking in my face. And so I said, what is going on? She's like, do you have something to say to me? And Candace said, that's when I started calling her names, which I meant. And it was after she got in my face that I said what I said to her because she was trying to engage me in a moment. So then Mia says, well, Deb was on a rampage that night. And, because she came up to me saying, oh, I'm a 4, Mia. I'm a 4. And so I just looked at her and I said, girl, no, we're all queens. You're a 10. And it was squashed. So, you're sitting here and you really need to be mindful because, you have something to lose. Mia, shut up. Shut up. Did she lie on your husband? Huh? Oh, okay, she didn't. You can't give nobody any advice because in Miami, where was all of this? Where was all of this? You have something to lose then. Deborah came dressed in that City Trends cat suit and kitten heels, ready for war. And she ain't fooling me. She embarrassed herself last season and she wanted revenge. So then Andy turns to Giselle and asks how she felt about the brawl for it all. She's like, well, I blame everybody. I blame Candace, Wendy, Deborah. They're all responsible. Girl, please shut up. You have smoke in a list of women who are responsible when the first person you should be naming is Ashley, your fashion co-conspirator. You gonna name everybody except Ashley? So Wendy is trying to figure out, what did I do? How am I responsible? Giselle is like, okay, let's take Wendy out of it. I can't stand Giselle. I cannot stand her. Karen pipes up and says, well, Candace, why were you calling her vermin? Now, Karen is trying to ask a question. Here goes Giselle. Vermin. Vermit. Why would vermin? Why were you calling her vermin? I don't give a damn if she called her vermin, vermit, or Kermit, the damn frog. That unhinged lady should have kept her paws to herself. I don't care what she was being called. And of course, Giselle, you want to blame Candace. You will use any course of action to place unfair blame on this woman while ignoring your clear bias. And Andy, you are just as guilty. Ashley invited her. And how was she without fault? And you were not even there. And do you have clear comprehension skills? Because Kiana just stated that Wendy was trying to de-escalate the situation first. Like, do you just tune things out once you hear Wendy? Because I don't understand how you then turn around 2 seconds later and say, I blame everybody. I blame Wendy, Candace, Deborah. Girl, something is really wrong with you. And then she only took Wendy out of the equation when Mia said, well, Wendy had nothing to do with it. She's like, so Wendy wasn't standing right there? She said, Wendy had nothing to do with it. I really hate that they even have to defend themselves while Andy sits idly by and does nothing. And truth be told, Andy doesn't care about this group moving forward. He really doesn't. He has his faves and he reads the Twitter. People add him on Instagram. They add him on all social media platforms. And so what Andrew does is he comes and plays in our face every single reunion to act like, oh, I'm on your side. You guys keep watching. I'm going to fix it. You don't give a damn, because if you did, you would have stopped all of this. Okay, you would have stopped it all and say, you know what? Let's get down to the root of it. The person who invited her. Granted, Deborah is grown. But you cannot make me believe that you didn't sit with your homegirl before this season aired and said, if I see Candace again, it's up and it's stuck. You cannot make me believe that. Andy, you're complicit, just so we're clear. So Candace explains that she walked up, got in her face, and she said, yeah, get this vermin out of my face. That's what I said. Here go Mia. No, but you can't do that. Mia, that first seat got you losing your damn mind. The hypocrisy is so insane. You threw your drink across the table because you did not like what Wendy was saying, but she isn't allowed to say to a person that's in her personal space, get this vermin out of my face. So would you have preferred for it to turn physical? What if that lady would have just gotten in her face and hauled off on her? Then what? Girl, get real. Y'all are really a joke. Y'all are really a joke. So Candace tells her, no, you cannot tell me how to respond to someone threatening me. So Andy is like, well, what were you going to do with that bottle? She said, I really don't know, but I was not expecting them to fight for me. I felt like I was on my own. I didn't know what I was going to do. This lady is crazy as hell. Instead of Andy focusing on what was done, he's focusing on her reaction to what was done. So they're talking about Ashley placing blame on Candace. And she was like, well, I feel like her words made it more explosive. Candace said, well, I felt like she was going to do that regardless. They're all like, no, you don't know that to be true. You don't know. So then here go and Nneka piping up. Well, do you think your comments exacerbated her anger? Wow. Honey, I wish I could insert Flavor Flav right here. Y'all are really being dense. Y'all are really being dense. Candace is upset, saying they're trying to make it okay because of her words. And Andy is like, no, what they're saying is you're playing with a loaded gun. Absolutely no support. No support from none of them. If she did not want smoke, then why were you in this woman's personal space? She wanted a fight. She was previewing it since last season. That lady kept posting in her stories. She wanted a fight. So here go Ashley talking about, but I really don't know, her to be a violent person. And I was talking to her and she just said she wanted to clear the air. But I didn't invite her to be messy. And I also want to apologize to Kiarna. Ashley, you're a liar. You knew full well that lady was on the attack. Just like you sat up on that episode because you didn't think we saw it. What's going on? What happened? When you watch that back, and you can find it on Twitter or TMZ, Ashley, you were right there. Okay, you were right there. The sequence of events happened. Kiarna is standing right here. I think Wendy is standing next to Kiarna, and then you have Candace. Ashley is standing on the other side. Okay, so they're like right across from each other. Deborah is saying blah, 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 blah. You can clearly see Wendy is like, girl, no, don't do it. And then you see Kiarna say something. Then Deborah hits Kiarna first. And then Candace picks up a bottle because Deborah is lunging and she does not know who she's coming at. She don't know if she's coming at Kay or if she's coming at her. Ashley tries to pull the bottle out of Candace's hand and then all hell broke loose. And then one of Ashley's little minions pulled Kiarna down to the ground. Now, had we not seen that, they will be able to say whatever they wanted to say, paint whatever narrative, because they already know that Candace comes with negative things attached to her. We've seen Candace run that mouth in previous seasons, so it's easy to point blame at Candace. What they were not expecting was for us to see it. So Ashley, you standing there talking about what's going on? So what Deborah told me, Deborah didn't have to tell you nothing because you saw it. Girl, goodbye and good night. Moving forward. So after she apologized to Kiarna was like, yeah, girl, you are the queen of aftermath apologies. Honey, I know that's where I get her. Andy asked if Kay had any final words. She tells Karen that she really appreciates her for being there for her because she was scared. And the only other person that would have been there for her like that would have been her mom. So Karen said, look, I would have been there for any of you, even Robin. The fact that this woman was physically assaulted at the hands of one of Ashley's minions is ridiculous. Ashley, you can go. And take Giselle with you. Andy, you are also a problem. Okay? I'm disgusted by all of you. Even you, Karen, a little bit. And Karen, why are you even asking about the words she said and not why she was confronted and this lady was in her face and why this lady lied on her husband? Y'all are asking the wrong questions. This right here don't make no sense. So it's time to wrap this thing up. It's time to wrap up season 8. And Andy's like trying to figure out where they are now. He tells them that he wants to see how they can move forward for season 9. He wants to know if there is anybody who wants to apologize. No one says anything. This should show you that this is not going to be any different in season 9 if we don't shake some things up. Robin pipes up and says there's no animosity with Candace. Candace says that she feels the same. She's pretty much mourned the friendship. She said the friendship is over. So if the ball is in Robin's court at this point. Then Andy says, well, what about Wendy and Aneka? And Neka said, look, I took full accountability for everything that I said, and I put our issues on the table, and I put everything to the side to see where it can go. Wendy's like, well, I still want to know, what did I personally do to you? But she did say that she apologized for the crackhead comment, and that's about all they got out of Wendy. Candace said, look, as far as me and Giselle, I came here today, and I've been trying, but I just can't. So Giselle is like, you can't even acknowledge things. Listen, with Giselle and Candace, Giselle wants Candace to bow down to her and kiss the ring. This isn't your sorority, big sister Potomac, okay? This is not your sorority. She's like, well, Candace doesn't want to take accountability. I cannot wait for this to air. I can't wait for the tweets. Candace has apologized to you several times this reunion. She actually gave you more than I would have. Because the way I would have been sitting there on silent, especially after I knew that I was clocking out and wasn't clocking back in. The thing about me is once I get my 2 weeks at a job, you get nothing else from me. Nothing else, especially if I know I'm going to quit. Now, what I think is Candace had already been thinking, you know what, this is just a little bit too much. Maybe I should step away. But I think this reunion really solidified it for her. And I would have given Giselle nothing. She would have been arguing with herself. And Giselle, you are going to eat those words, baby, because they are tearing you up over there on that Twitter because of this ignorant display. You have caused many of us to never want to watch you again, especially if you are a part of this franchise. Baby, there's a whole hashtag fire Giselle. You click on that hashtag boycott Real Housewives of Potomac. See, that's why you got to be careful what you speak into existence. Because, baby, them words are like chickens and they come to roost. You can't wait until this airs and you can see the tweets. I wonder if you're reading those tweets, Giselle. So as they come to a close, Karen and Giselle get up and they ask Andy to stand up and they crown him the Duke of Potomac. Y'all get off my screen. I cannot wait to delete all of this from my DVR. I never want to see y'all again. Thank God Candace walked away from this sinking ship. Wendy, you should consider doing the same because I don't think you will be able to last past this season. And that was the end of season 8. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this triggering 3-part reunion. Andrew, we get it. You don't like very many people on the left side of the couch, or if we're sitting where you're sitting on the right side of the couch. We get it. You made it abundantly clear. There were so many follow-up questions for a particular group of women, but not for the other side. I'm just done with y'all. I'm just really done with y'all, and we shall see. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.